of the Americans. Okay. Do a couple of more things. Oh, there was F5. Cool. Excellent. Good. Right. Do a couple more things and then we'll get going. Apologies for the little late start. Oh, that makes things easier. Alright. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to round 11 of the F5 Championship here on PSGL. My name is K997. I'll be commentating for this race, and this time we are racing at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, for the final round of the championship for the United States Grand Prix. It was introduced into Formula One in 2012, being a track that would return to F1 racing here in the US. Basically was just to refurbish a sort of relationship between USA and F1 after the disaster that unfolded. Oh, was Nick going for a slide there. As it was to refurbish after the unfortunate events that happened in 2005, of course, with that sort of Grand Prix that happened in Indianapolis. But yeah, ever since that time, it hasn't returned from 2007 to 2011, and of course, 2012 was when this track made its debut, and of course, has made it pretty much a healthy relationship with the US and F1. Pretty much so, as it also has now 3 races in the United States for Formula One. This track, though, in particular, is a 3.3-mile racetrack that consists of 20 turns and 2 DRS zones, one of which that leads down the main straightaway towards turn 1 and the back straight at the exit of turn 11, leading up towards turn 12, which will be the ideal overtaking spots on the circuit. Of course, the drivers will have to keep in mind track limits as well, mainly in the first sector, as you can see Nick going through right now. It's also pretty much a representation of Maggots and Beckett's. Any sort of form of courtesy around this racetrack, it's just sort of a replica of some areas of some European racetracks like Maggots and Beckett's at Silverstone with the S's here, and then of course Turkey's favorites turn 8, which is turn 16 through 18, which is the triple right-handed apex corner around the tower. Now, before I go further into qualifying, actually it's 3.4 miles. I take that back, not 3.3. Before I go further into qualifying, just some news to go through, of course. First, from the previous race, Oscar has, as we saw last week, and currently is on pole right now, has already claimed the Drivers' Championship for F5. So, congratulations once again to Oscar on winning the championship. He is currently leading the way on 100 points to Danny Van Rooten, who is on 78 points. He's only 22 points back, but yeah, I think if Danny Van Rooten would have showed up a bit more full time, it would have been more interesting with the championship. But nevertheless, that's basically where it stands now. But still a fight between a lot of drivers for P2. Sebas behind him on 77, followed by Nassim in 4th on 73. Then Felix Swan in 5th on 66. Oh wait, no. Nassim on... No, that's Boom, I'm sorry, on 73. Nassim on 66. Felix Swan on 45. Billy on 44. Napple with 37. Leo Ayres in 9th and 34, along with Lakita, round out the 10. Then in the Constructors' Championship, I think this one is still up in the air, but it's looking more like this could be a good chance for Mercedes to steal it all off. As Oscar goes even quicker on his time with a 48.8. Nearly a second quicker right now to Frank, a new driver actually in this race. Mercedes, it's Boop and David. Okay, sorry. Let me start over. Mercedes in the Constructors' Championship has 139 points. Alfa Romeo in second with 111. McLaren are in third with 109. AlphaTauri are in fourth with 87. Red Bull Racing in fifth with 57. Aston Martin with 49. Williams in seventh, 39. Alpine eighth with 34. Haas in ninth with 24. And that's Ferrari with 15 points. Alright, well that's it into the news. Now we can get into qualifying. More into qualifying. Obviously, as you can see, it's raining, as you can see here in Austin. So I'm not sure what the race is going to store, but yeah, we've got another race involving wet weather conditions. As Nick goes to second with a 49.1. Oscar, meanwhile, is down on his time. Nassim hasn't set a lap time yet. I think he's about to finish his lap, if I'm not mistaken. I think he'll go for another run. Maybe I don't think there's a more dominant run. So let's see what he can do. I think he'll go for another push lap, and we'll see what he can do as we ride along. Oh, he nearly lost the back end. Down the main straightaway towards turn 1. Of course, in these conditions, there's no DRS. It's just you go up the hill. Now towards turn 1. Oh, he might have missed the apex just a little bit. I'll be honest, that's not really the cleanest lap to start off there. I think we're seeing drivers now go on the intermediate tire, so it seems that now maybe the rain is starting to line up for some drivers, and I think that is looking like to be the case. Yep, everyone's in the pit lane, so yep. So currently right now, Oscar is on the top of the boards with a 48.8. It's about what's that? Less than 2.5 tenths quicker, I'd say, than the current time. But yeah, about 3 tenths actually. Yeah, top 2 on the wet tires doing that lap. Everyone's done their times on the wet, but everyone's going to the intermediate tire because that seems to be the more suitable tire. We'll actually ride along with Boom, see how he does, and we'll give you, or try to give you a proper tour around the racetrack if we can. As he heads up towards the final corner and onto the main straightaway. And we'll be getting the lap. Down towards turn 1 again, no DRS, of course, in these conditions. Up towards the hill. Braking just hard as much as he could. Just trying to trail brake as much as he can, really. He gets through the corner very nice through turn 2. Now into the S section of turns 3, 4, 5, and then 6. You gotta make sure you tuck the car close to the apex as possible, as best you can. Through 7, then into the crest of 8, 9, and then up and over the crest. Keep it in 4th, modulate the throttle, back on the gas, down towards turn 11. Hard on the brakes, down to 3rd gear, clipping the inside apex. And then heading down towards now the back straightaway. Long on back straightaway. Towards turn 12, like I said, another overtaking spot here on the racetrack. Of course, got to brake a little bit sooner than you do in the drive, because in these conditions, you want to brake at around nearly 150 meters. Now to the right-handers of turns, oh, gee whiz, down to 13 and then 14 and now to turn 15. I don't know why the corner before that is not turn 15, according to the track map. But that's how it is. Through 16, 17, and 18 through the right-handers. Usually it'll be flat in the dry, in the wet. Not this sort of occasion. Through the penultimate corner, now towards the final corner of the racetrack. See what he can do here. Foot to the floor. And it's a 47.4 for Boop. He goes to the top for now. That's Chris. How do I say that? I'm going to say Chris. Goes to P1 with a 47.2. My apologies. Alpha Gully for the win? Oh, he's the guy in the Williams. Okay, he's a new driver I've never seen before either. Yeah, a couple of drivers I'm noticing on this grid that are making their debuts in the F5 series. Yeah, especially now they're doing it the last round of the championship. Alpha Gully, Frank, and Chris. Stevens invalidated the lap. Lakitu up towards turn 11. Billy Haynes through the end of the S's. Chris is down on his time, it seems. Let's see. Frank is up by 1.4 seconds. Seems like he's on a pretty decent lap. See if he can find any more time through this final sector here. He's got the right-handers of 16 to 18. And then through 19. Of course, that corner, if you have no line on, is very hard to judge. I will say, to find the, because you got to find the entry point and then see if you can make sure you get it right into the apex. Frank, though, goes to the top with a 46.999. So he's on provisional pole for the moment, as Gully will come across the line very shortly. And he looks like he'll smash that time, and he does so. With a 146.3, he's now just over 6.5 tenths clear of Frank. Billy coming back into the pits. Daniel has not improved on his time. He stays where he is as Foley's up by half a second to the first sector split. Going down the hard of the brakes. Down to third gear, heading up towards the end of the middle sector. He's up by 1.5 seconds. With that improvement, he would be somewhere in the 49 zeros. He would get ahead of Nick currently if he were to keep the lap as it is, but I know he's got more time than that. Around 16 through 18, now into the penultimate corner of 19. And now towards the final corner of the racetrack here. And he'll cross the line, just set a 47.3. He'll set himself into fourth at a Boom by just a tenth. Exactly. And also, if you may notice, my voice sounds a bit hoarsey. I do apologize about that. I do feel a little bit under the weather today. Frank crossing the line goes P1 with a 146.0. Puts himself now ahead of Gully there by just 0.3 of a second. Less than 0.3 of a second. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we're the greatest attendance either, too. Again, we have 12 cars. I think last week we had about... Oh, was it 14? I can't necessarily remember. It was either like 14 or 15. Yeah, there's one thing I have seen in this series so far. Last couple of races, just that the attendance hasn't been the greatest ever. But I think it's just due to the fact that everyone just is getting sick and tired of F1 23 at this rate. Oscar about to cross the line. He's got a blitz this time here by nearly 0.3. With a 145.760. He's now the first driver into the 45s. As we got about a minute left here in qualifying. NASA puts himself up into P4 with a 146.3. Very good lap time indeed. Also the third driver to be in the 146s. Sure, he's got plenty of time to find. He's got about half of the battery to use, over half of the battery, so I think that should be just enough for him to get through the lap. As Nick goes to the top now with a 45.4. Wow, very good lap time indeed. So the track is starting to ramp up a lot as Oscar is up by nearly over 4.5 tenths. Frank has invalidated the lap, but I think he should be able to go again. Oh no, he doesn't have a fuel light. I just realized. So that's it for qualifying for him. Best he can hope for is third, as Nassam has a slide. That's it for him as well. He's also invalidated the lap too. See how Chris can do through the S section here. Coming to the end of the first sector, clock says for him. He's up by 7 tenths to the first sector. Let's see if anyone else. Billy, meanwhile, up by 1.2 seconds. Oscar, though, has found 7.5 tenths. He'll definitely claim pole on this lap if he can keep it tight. Gully goes to the top with a 45.1. Oscar blitzes that with a 44.3. A very solid lap. Nick is up by 2.5 tenths. Oh, he'll need to find a lot more time than that. He needs to find well over a second. Alright, here comes Lakita around the final corner. 2 seconds up. He'll go P6. Here comes the other McLaren of Daniel. What will he be? He goes third with a 45.4. Still no one close enough. Oh, as Nick nearly loses the back end. He comes around the final corner now. He needs to be a 44.3. It's only a 44.9. He misses out by 6 tenths. Boom does all the push lap as well. See what he can come up with. Chris goes to the top now with a 44.1. Where on earth did that come from Chris? Very good lap. Does Boop have enough in the tank? He has enough for fourth with a 44.8. I think someone else just came across the line there. I think that was C doing a 45.7. Foley's just about to cross the line and complete the lap, even though he was invalidated. But it's Chris on his debut that will start from pole position here for the US Grand Prix. Yeah, fantastic stuff. Yeah, Hungarian driver as well. Okay, that's the first time I've never seen a Hungarian. Or, not Hungarian, Bulgarian driver, sorry. Yeah, no, I never see a Bulgarian ever race in this. But anyway, Chris on pole, followed by Oscar, and then Billy, boom. Oh, so you get, I just realized Billy at third. Very good lap indeed by him too. Boom, Nick, Gully, Daniel, Sieb, Frank, Nasa, and Lakito, and Foley. Rounds it all off. Okay, right. Clear sky. Well, I wouldn't say clear skies. It's mostly partly cloudy skies. But it is dry conditions, nonetheless. Will there be a chance we get more wet weather interference later into the race? I've got no idea. Yeah, not a bad racetrack though for a farm. I never thought that into consideration, but that's a very decent idea from PSGL to do. Have Coda be the final round of the championship. It's a good track for it, I would say. Yeah, with it being a 3.4 mile track, and plus a lot of the drivers I've raced against before tend to like, well, it's either a mixed relationship with Kota. They do like it, they don't like it. I probably would say out of the 3 US tracks that we go to for Formula 1, I probably would say this is the best. Yeah, Vegas is fine. I don't mind Vegas, except the one thing that is tricky about Vegas is the fact that it feels like there's not a lot of grip because of the track temperature. And then of course Miami, well, it's Miami. I'm not a big fan of it. Speaking of which, that's also where we're going this week for Formula 1, is Miami. Not just that, but it's also a sprint round as well. Yeah, so back-to-back sprints in F1. Alright, well, here we go. For the final round of the championship, 5 red lights. And we are underway for the final time in F5 here in PSGL. It looks like a good start by Chris, but I think Oscar's got the best jump. Oh, as they go 3 abreast into the first corner. The McLaren, they're going down the inside, and he's going to take the lead. Oscar takes the lead away from Chris. As they make their way through the S, they're side-by-side action between McLaren and Aston Martin here. That's Daniel Lakitu. As they head through the S's, one of them has to back out. It's the Aston Martin of Lakitu that had to back out as they head up through the S's for the first time in racing conditions. But Oscar gained the best jump out of the start, gained by Chris at the first corner. Down the inside goes Nick ahead of Boop. He's actually trying to get by Goalie as well. Or he looked like he was trying to. He didn't have enough. But he's ahead of Boop up towards now the back straight we go. Chris now gaining under pressure from Billy as Billy goes through. Down the inside goes Alpha Goalie trying to defend against the Ferrari. Nothing doing there for Nick. He has to stay behind. Oh, as he goes down the inside as well on Chris. Chris really losing places. Or really in trouble already on the first lap. Goalie also on the soft compound tire. I think compared to everybody else, the only one on the soft compound tire. Yeah, I got you. Tires and telemetry. There you go. Yep, everyone on the hards except for 2, that being Billy and Gully, who are on the mediums and softs. As Billy's going to go down the inside, he'll take the race lead away from Oscar. The Italian's got the job done for now. Gully also trying to get by Chris. I think he's just got that done. He's now up into 3rd position. Excuse me, I apologize. Like I said, I'm feeling a bit under the weather today. Up towards turn 11. Gully backing out. He doesn't really attack here into turn 11. Very interesting. I was trying to attempt for something, but I guess he just didn't have any sort of answer. He's got to make the most out of those soft tires. He needs to make up ground quickly if he wants to make his strategy work. And the one thing you have to do if you're on softer tires compared to everybody else is you got to pull off a gap. Billy's trying to do exactly that. He's got half a second actually already to Oscar. Yeah, there's one little thing though about Kota, about the tires here, is that there is a massive difference between hards and mediums. They're about nearly a second quicker, I think, from hards and the mediums. Or the mediums are about nearly a second quicker than the hards, I should say. I think the softs are like 1.2. As DRS is now enabled, I didn't quick hit, you got the fastest lap. It was the race leader, Oscar. Or, sorry, not Oscar, Billy, with a 36.666. As DRS is now enabled. For final time we'll receive these sort of regulations as well, where DRS is enabled after 2 laps, because the next game it will be enabled after 1 lap. Around the left-hander of turn 11, DRS will be enabled for quite literally everybody except for the race leader, of course, because Chris is the race leader. Or, sorry, Chris. Billy is the race leader, and he does not have anything. Oh! Oh my goodness! That was quite an aggressive block. Oh! Very aggressive block there from Frank. Nassim's still there? Yeah, he's still there. Oh, there's contact! Aston Martin shoving up the Alfa Romeo. Gee whiz. Talk about elbows out, and through goes Foley as well. I don't think Nassim was quite happy about the way that Frank was aggressively blocking him. And not only that, he just got shoved off the racetrack. But it wasn't, I don't think that was necessarily his fault. I think it was just because he was alongside Lakitu. Just there was no room. Oh, as Nick goes way too deep. Goes off the racetrack. He comes back on. He's now under pressure. Oh, hello. He's now pulling over. Oh, what's going on with Nick? Has he got a problem? He's retiring. Okay. He must have had a problem. Yeah, you don't just randomly do that. He had to have some sort of problem, surely. With his wheel, maybe, or something. Alpha, look at the speed of the Williams! Oh my goodness! He overtakes the pair of them into turn 12. Well, there you go. Goalie is into the lead. Goalie into the lead. Jesus. That man had some straight line speed. If I've ever seen one. Side by side, that's Billy and Oscar battling away through turns 16 to 18. Billy keeps the position ahead. So it's goalie now in the lead, followed by Billy, then Oscar, as Daniel's got a penalty now for multiple warnings. Yeah, that Williams just cruised on by down that back straight as goalie sets the fastest lap of the race. Chris trying to catch up to the top 3. Do not want to lose out DRS to the cars in front. Yep, as we've seen in previous times in the game, DRS is obviously the most crucial thing to have. It's pretty much your best friend. Without it, you're basically a sitting duck. Alright, back down the back straightaway towards turn 12 we go. DRS enabled, and here comes Billy to make a move on goalie, but goalie defends hard. The Red Bull doesn't find a way through against the Williams. Stays behind. Here comes towards turn 12. Turn 12. What am I saying? Turn 15. Goodness me, I'm getting now my cores all mixed up. Yeah, that's Foley. He spun at turn 15. He definitely might have got help from somebody there. I see there's Felix cheering for his teammate in the chat. This fella gets a penalty for multiple warnings, so for good measure too. He must have got punted by someone around that area. Had to be my rough guess. We're on lap 6 of 28. Still got a bit of ways to go here. Amazingly, Goalie's tires haven't necessarily fallen off the cliff as I anticipated. He's been doing quite well to try to keep the leaders at cars at bay. I don't think he will this time. He missed that apex quite badly there at turn 11. That's going to give a run now to Billy to make a pass for the race lead. But as we saw before, he doesn't necessarily have the straight line speed compared to the Williams, but he's gone by. Oh, hello. Oscar goes through now too. Wow. He must have gone down the inside as well. I went a little bit too far back. As I was talking about the soft tires, he's now fallen back down to third. Nassim have a little bit of a moment there coming out of turn 15. Around the 16 through 18. And back down the main straightaway towards turn 1. Nassim not quite close enough to get Frank. Through the S's of turn 3 to 7. Now to turn 8. Up and over the hill through turn 9 and then into turn 10. Caution there at sector 2. That is Daniel that has spun. Oh, he's actually... As he had it coming together with Lakitu. Oh, as he rejoins in front of Foley. He is very lucky that didn't result in a big accident. That was a very big... that was a bit of an awkward rejoin. I definitely wouldn't be surprised if there was a report coming his way. Massive game by Frank. That is for 7th place. But he's got a 3-second penalty next to his name. And... not within DRS of any of the cars in front either. It's currently the top 6 right now that have DRS. Right now leading this whole train is our champion of F5, Oscar. Currently in the way by just half a second. Alright, on to lap 8 of 28. 20 more laps to go. Still got a bit of ways to go. Only Dale having a little bit of a skirmish. Oh, that's Dale going to the pits. He has decided to call it quits here. Well, that basically means now anyone can score points. So now it's just the top 10 left. Billy's still within DRS range. Goalie, though, in fairness, is still there within DRS, even on those soft tires. I guess they haven't totally burned off for him, which is good news for his sake. I have a feeling that a few of these drivers are going to be paid for softs. Maybe a few are going to be paid for mediums and different strategies. Because if you remember during qualifying, it was raining, so... that basically would mean that all the drivers have fresh set of tires for every single compound that you have. But yeah, if they're going to the softs, they're going to have to go quite a distance in order to do so. They probably would have to pit around lap 18 to 20, I would say, to get from whatever tire they're using, whether it be Billy on the mediums or, well, everyone else on the hards. Because let's be real, Gully's going to have to go into the mediums once he pits, or the hard tire, depending on what he does. Still got a bit of a train here, still going through this area. How about further back? You still got Nassim battling away with Frank. And another Aston Martin, that's Lakitu, being overtaken by Foley there for 9th place. Yeah, if you look at the Barry situation, the best out of anybody really is Billy and Sieb in terms of the situation. Billy hasn't really burned much. Even though he's on the medium tire, he's just okay with... Oh, I thought he was going for the move. I was going to say he was okay with probably just sneaking behind Oscar and use him as a DRS tow. That way he can go long on the mediums and not, have to burn them off. And try to go as long as he can to go onto the soft tire. Okay, now into the penultimate turn. Final corner now, turn 20. We can lap 10 of 28. 19 more laps to go. I think I said a lap 8, it was 20 laps to go. It was 21 laps to go at that time. Not quite close enough there. Is hello there, Gully. Alright, now through the S's. There's your top 6. All still within a train. Hasn't been too many moves at the front except for just any changes for the race lead. As Chris might be bringing the pressure already to to the Williams. Yeah, excuse me. Sorry about my voice. Alright, down the back straightaway towards turn 12. Billy close enough? No. Oh, that's a battle here. That's Gully and Chris still back. They're battling away through turn 13. Wheel to wheel through turn 13. Williams has the inside line, but I think the Haas has got better grip compared to the Williams. Yep, there you go. Nice little move there. He might even lose that to Boom as they head through the right-hander of turn 16 to 18. Gully though has the inside line for 19. He keeps the place. Oh, but does Boom go for the switch? He just wasn't close enough to make a move. He's got enough battery. He's got enough momentum to get past. As Gully now drops down to 6th place. Yeah, it might be now a better indication that those soft tires are starting to fade. Love the aerial shot looking over the racetrack here in Texas. Down the hill towards 10-11. I don't think I've ever seen that sort of camera shot before, that helicopter shot around the S's. That looks quite sick. Well, what was a 6-car train is now turned into a 3-car train. As Billy's now going to go ahead down the inside. He'll take the race lead away from Oscar. As Frank now takes Nassam for 7th position. As Gully can't really do anything here against Steve and Boom. Yeah, they've lost touch to the top 3 because of their little fight. Yep, so now it's just Billy, Oscar, and Chris battling away for the race lead. And actually, I think if I read the chat correctly, I think a couple of these jars I just realized are from F4, I guess. I'm not entirely sure if it's Gully, Frank, and Chris, considering I've never seen them in this race before, in this championship before. Alright, well, down the back straight away. It's still Billy, Oscar, and Chris. They're still battling for the race lead. Oscar's going to take the race lead away from Billy again. And back again to the race lead. Goes our championship leader. Or, sorry, our champion. Sorry, not championship leader. And actually, with this battling, too, it actually now has become a 6-car train again. Well, almost. It's now a 5-car train, more specifically. Yeah, because now C's back in it, Spoop's now back in it. Frank and Gully. Oh, that's just Gully going to the pits. So Gully's going to get off of those soft tires. He'll go on to a set of the hards, I believe. Well, I should find out once he gets into his pit box. That is a set of medium tires. Okay, so he's going soft medium for this occasion. That is a strategy we typically seen from the older generation of cars. That being the last generation, I should say. Yeah, it was the more dominant strategy around Kota. Was either soft medium or medium soft. I think he can make it, but the only problem is that those tires are going to be a little bit iffy at the end of the race. That's my only criticism right now. Down towards Sartor. Oh, goodness! I think Billy just ran straight into the back of the McLaren. He completely misjudges braking. He's now got front wing damage. And there goes Chris as well. Yeah, he looked like he was trying to avoid it, but just couldn't do so in time. Avoid the McLaren. He just couldn't do it in time. So yeah, he's going to be struggling on the downforce. As you can see, having to lift a little bit. He cannot have that front end cope into the corner. He's going to have to box. Yep, he's coming into the pits. Ah, such a shame. Billy. Oh, yeah, add salt to the wounds. He gets a 5-second penalty for speeding. That's extremely unlucky. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't anyone's fault. It wasn't Oscar's fault. I mean, it was just mainly Billy just misjudged his braking. Just misjudged the braking into the corner. And just ran straight into the back of him. So yeah, now Billy has to go to the hard tire. I think he probably would have liked to go onto the softs. Yep, so much for that strategy now. Joe's got DRS not close enough. Chris has got DRS as well, but he ain't close enough either. Also representing that Lando Norris chrome helmet there, the Google chrome helmet. That was the helmet he used during the British Grand Prix last year. Gully going down the inside, same with Akita, who locks up too in the process, but he gets through ahead of the AlphaTauri. Tries to fight back into turn 15. He's got that done. Lakita just leaves the door open, pretty much. As now Nassim and Frank are going into the pit, so they're going to go to a hard medium strategy, by the looks of things. As Alpha Gully sets the fast lap of the race with a 1:35.0. He's right now 16 seconds behind our race leader, Oscar. As we've seen in previous occasions, if you ever watched a race at Kota, being online or real life, undercut is quite powerful in Kota, so Gully's going to try to make the most of that undercut against the race leaders. So yeah, he'll have a massive lead once they come out of the pits, but the bad news is that they're going to be on fresher tires compared to him. And they'll be a lot quicker compared to him as well. Yeah, because fresh tires make, and grippy tires as well, I should say, can make all the difference. Okay, not close enough. I really like that helmet, by the way, from Lakitu. That looks sick. Yeah, really stylish looking helmet there from Lakitu. Chris goes in. Alright, so he's now in, and same with our race leader Oscar, and also Book. Steve stays out for another lap. Here comes Gully, so he's going to take these positions away from the three of them. They're putting onto a set of mediums, so they're not opting to go long on their stint. They want to get these medium tires on and bolted. As Gully now gets P2 away from these guys. Oh, as they come out side by side, that's Frank and Chris. Deary me. Frank gets now ahead of him into P4. Now, if I remember correctly, Frank was one of the, Frank and Nassib, of course, were one of the drivers that pitted a bit earlier to the medium tire. Looks like they made the most out of that undercut. That has really made an astounding difference. Because now they're within this pack, battling for P3. But golly, look at the gap he's got. He's got 4 seconds. And I'll be serious too, in some aspects, because of that as well. The tire difference isn't that much different at all between Golly and some of the drivers that have pitted. It's just about maybe 2 laps older. But that's still not much. So Golly's actually in a pretty good spot here. Alright, Steve's now in. Yeah, he has to respond. Yeah, he is going to be behind this train here that's coming through the penultimate corner. Yeah, as they cross the line now, we begin lap 17 of 28. The gap has gone down by 4/10. It's now 3.6. Now make that 3.5. Between Golly and Oscar. You got this train with Oscar down to about where Billy is. Actually, Billy has made a somewhat of a recovery on that undercut after getting damaged, so well done to him. Only bad thing is he's got a 5-second penalty for when he sped in the pits. Otherwise, he would have been in a very good spot. And the gap has actually come down now, even more. It's now gone down to 2.7 seconds. So through this half of the lap, it's pretty much Oscar has now gained about just a second. So really those tires are making a bit of a difference. I mean, I did say before, fresh tires make all the difference in this game. And Oscar's really proven in that case. He is pushing, and he is pushing to catch the race leader. I think he might get the fastest lap here. And he does, with a 34.9. Wow, he really is pushing hard. He's almost got a second gap to Frank, who doesn't have any battery to play with, so he's in trouble. He's got battery to him as well, as Frank got a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Yep, and Frank does not have DRS. He won't get DRS. Chris will get DRS and stay with the other cars behind him. I think Billy might have lost out a little bit there. The gap is now less than a second between Oscar and Gully, as we got DRS now enabled for the Haas against the Aston Martin. He won't be close enough to attack just yet. Yeah, you can see he is flashing. But to be fair to Oscar, he has used a little bit of battery as well, as we did see on some occasion. Yeah. I was just going to get to that. I don't know how to pronounce your name. But I was going to mention that Oscar is starting to look really good. Really closing up. He's now on the back of our race leader. That is Gully. Up towards turn 1. Won't do anything here, of course. He'll wait till the back straight to pass. Through the S as they go. There are the leaders, and there's everyone else. Just further back. Yep, I think we're going to see the change for the lead coming here. Between Oscar and Gully. Look at that, all over the back of the Williams. I would say there's not much that the Williams can do. He does not have the freshness of his mediums compared to Oscar. And Oscar takes back the race lead. As Chris gets ahead of the Aston Martin of Frank into turn 12. He's now up to third. Oh, I think you got the wrong car because Gully's... Oh. Well, I guess you could say Alpha. It's Alpha Gully. But I was gonna correct you saying no, that's a Williams. But no, it says Alpha is name to fair credit. I think he might be able to pull away. He's got 9/10 nearly, but I mean, yes, Gully will have DRS, but like I said, the one little difference that he doesn't have compared to Oscar is that he doesn't have the freshness. Yeah, he doesn't have the freshness of those mediums. His tires are 3 laps older compared to him. This is where we're going to see it through the S section here. This is where now the mechanical grip comes into play. As Billy gets a penalty for multiple points. That's our 8 seconds to his name. And yeah, he's broken out of that 1 second range. Just about though. It's only 1.1 seconds. Oh, it's down the inside goes Nassam. The Alfa Romeo gets by just about into turn 11. Good move there from Nassam, but I think the Aston will come back at him. He's tempting to do so. He's closing in. He actually closed in on a little bit. Oh, that's contact a little bit there. That could have been bad. There's contact there, definitely for sure. I heard the thud. He goes for the switchback there through turn 13. Oh, he goes for a switchback now. Oh my goodness. And through goes Boop. Wow, that was very sudden. I don't think Ness will be on Frank on his Christmas card at the end of this race. That looked very aggressive for sure. Not only that, I think he pushed him off the racetrack. Alright, well, Oscar is starting to pull away. The gap now is 2.3 seconds. As we got Billy and Steve side by side through turn 2. Yeah, then there goes the AlphaTauri. He's up into 7th position. Yeah, Gully's in a little bit of trouble here. Oh, he's off the track as well. That's definitely a warning. As Nassa gets a penalty. Yep, he opens up the corner there, does Chris, so he can get a good exit. And, well, he's got exactly that. Hasn't gone ahead of the Williams just yet, though. He's got DRS. There you go, he's now into P2. Oh, he goes way too deep. Yeah, that's obviously because he's carrying a little bit of low downforce, I'd say, is Alpha Gully. Yeah, but now Chris is starting to pull away too. He just doesn't have the grip compared to everybody else around him anymore. Yeah, I have a slight suspicion he might have used up his tires a bit too much there with the undercut. Oh, as Chris has left the session. Oh dear, that's not good news for him. He's going to be losing the podium then. Side by side between Boomp and Gully here into turn one. Boomp takes the position away. Oh, that's such a shame for Chris. Definitely would have been a P2 finish if he didn't lag out. Look at that, now the AI is just losing places. As I say, Alpha. Yeah, Haas is just losing places because he is not in the lobby. There's your race leader there in the distance, as you just saw in that camera shot. That's how big the gap is right now. Let's see if gets by Frank. NASA gets by Chris's AI. Down the inside goes the Williams. Just can't pull the car up just in time. Boom takes back the position, and here comes Steve. He's got more grip. A lot more life into those tires. And gets him around the outside. A very nice move. Very respectful racing there. Got enough racing room and pulled it around the outside. Yep, there's Oscar there in the race distance, in the distance there. He has really pulled away big time. Yep, there you go. Now Chris is back in his car. Billy, a penalty, multiple warnings there to the S's. That's now 11 seconds to his name. Alright, foul 4. P2 is on. Definitely no way they'll catch Oscar. He's way too far away. So here goes Steve now. It's a P2 away from Boom. I have a feeling this will be the battle for P2 for the remainder of this race. Funny enough, though, they haven't really pulled away from Alpha Gully, in fairness. Despite Gully's age on his tires. Alright, now we got 5 more laps to go here in this race. Lap 24 of 28. Down the main straightaway towards the first corner. He's just not quite close enough. It's Boom. He'll of course carry that on to the back side of the track as long as he keeps up with Steve. A little bit of understeer there, you can tell from the dirty air coming off the car in front. Yeah, you can just see how much of a difference it is when you have clean air and dirty air. You really just don't have that much downforce. Yeah, even though they did these new regulations to make the racing closer, yeah, there's still occasions where dirty air can play a factor. I will say though, it's not bad as it used to be with the older cars. Yeah, anytime you race with the older cars, like the last cars, I should say. Now, the Derry, I remember, was a bit of a problem. Alright, the gap is 4.7 seconds here. Oscar still cruising out in front. He's got a healthy margin to his name. For car 12. You know what's funny, too? We just recently had MotoGP here at Kota a couple weeks ago. A rider by the name of Maverick Vinales, who rides with the number 12 on his bike for Aprilia, won that Circuit of the Americas. Also around that time, he became the first ever rider to win Grand Prix in MotoGP for 3 different manufacturers. He did that for Suzuki and Yamaha, and then this year he did it for Aprilia. Yeah, that race as well. Maverick Vinales was on pole position, but then he fell back to 11th because he had a bit of a shaky start, which is kind of a typical thing that Maverick Vinales would do. But came back, and then he ended up winning the race, and he won it by about 2 seconds over the upcoming rising star by the name of Pedro Acosta, who was a Moto2 world champion. Chris getting a penalty for multiple warnings. As Lakita goes down the inside into turn 12, he's got that done. There, hit a Foley. Oscar, though, showing his case, obviously, of being the champion with the gap that he's got, 4.3 seconds. He hasn't won a race since the second round of the championship, ironically, which was back at Spa. He won the first 2 races. The first one was by penalties, but the second one was based on track at Spa when he had a battle with Danny Van Rooten. Had quite a few of those occasions between those 2. Yeah, funny thing is that if Oscar didn't DNF at Monaco and ended up, let's say, race and then get a podium at, oh goodness me, at Canada, he might have ended up close to a 100% podium record. I'd probably say at the end of this race, he's definitely going to have like a 90% podium record. It's 9 out of 11 of those races he's been on the podium, and 3 of them have been on race wins. Ironic that that's the case whilst he's doing this in America. If anyone has any other thoughts of what they're thinking when I'm saying those numbers. Anyway, penultimate lap. It's right now C, that's second, Boomfin third. This is the battle for second place still. Frank is just a little bit too far away, plus he's got a penalty to his name. As goalie's still right behind Frank. He doesn't have a penalty to his name, so as long as he keeps it clean, he should be able to get 4th place. Main thing for him is just to not fall back. Billy, a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. It was Nassam, I think, just ran a little wide there at the exit of that corner there of turn 10. Oh, I think someone just got off the track a bit there. That's Chris. Nearly have a moment there. Man, he has really fallen off. Down back down to down in 8th place. Alright, well, Oscar will now begin the final lap of the race. Lap 28 of 28. He's got a gap right now, still 4.5 seconds. It's been staying like that for at least the majority of the time in the second half of this race. As Billy goes down the inside of Nassum, he'll get 6th place away from him. Still a drop back though, unfortunately, due to his penalties. That's the penalty situation you want to know. Actually, he's got 14 seconds. Wow. Yeah, 14 seconds to his name. See if Boom will make any sort of move on Seeb. 6.5 tenths is the margin. Yeah, it's going to be looking like another P2 finish for Seeb. He has been one of the drivers that's been pretty much has been consistently towards the podium places. It just has not have a race win to his name, and it doesn't look like it's going to be the case, unfortunately for him. Same story here for Boom, even though he has a couple of wins to his name. Doesn't look like he'll get P2 from what it looks like. He's just not close enough to see. But out in front, though, it's been pretty much another consistent drive from our reigning champion of F5. He's going to finish this race off in style here around the final corner for the final time in this championship. It's Oscar that wins here at Circuit of the Americas for the Texas Grand Prix. Seeb takes 2nd, Boom takes 3rd, or the US Grand Prix I should say. Gully gets 4th, followed by Frank, Chris, Nassum, Billy, and then we're just waiting for Foley and Lakitu to cross the line shortly. It looks like Foley should be able to keep the spot. But well done to Oscar. Getting his 3rd. Oh, Lakitu's crashed at the final turn. Oh dear. But he'll be classified. He'll still get points anyway. Alpha Gully getting driver of the day. Interesting. Okay. Well, there you go. Another top finish, I guess you could say, from Oscar. His 3rd race win. Funny enough, his 3rd race win. Yeah, almost every race, pretty much every race he has attended, or almost every race he's attended, he's ended up on the podium. As I said before, if he didn't DNF in Monaco, and if he did race in Canada, get a podium, he would have had maybe a chance for a 100% podium record. Would be the first of any driver I would see. But not only that, he gets a full complement of points. He also got the win and the fastest lap of the race after starting from P2. Well done to him for sure. Steve 2nd, followed by Boom, Alpha Gully, Frank, Chris, Nassum, Billy, Foley, Lakitu, Daniel, and Nick. That is pretty much the running order. Yeah, no, well done to Oscar to just finish off the championship like that. For him, that's solid. Probably the most consistent driver I probably would say I have ever watched. Just showing that you don't necessarily need wins in order to win the championship. No matter the competition, it's all about basically just showing how consistent you are, being towards the front and everything. And now, well done to him. Also invite them if they want to join, of course. Do one last round of podium interviews before we close out the season, or close out the stream. Alright, we'll wait on them if they want to join us. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. Looks like they've all just joined as well. Cool. So we can get started. Hello there, Steve and
Hello,
Boop.
good evening.
Hello. Yep, good to see you two again. For one more time. Why don't we start off with Boom? Well, you got P3 to end off your season. You had a little battle with Steve, of course, towards the end, but for your sake, P3 was all you could do. But how was it for you overall at Texas?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really expect anything big. I just needed to get P5 because Danny wasn't racing, so P5 would secure me P3 in a championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, was just cruising towards the end with Seeb. Just chilling and laughing about what Frank was doing behind us because he was in a party with us too. I wasn't really focusing on driving, but just on chilling basically. So it was a good race.
Well, fair enough. Pretty much, I guess with what you had to deal with, I guess you didn't have to take things too seriously, which is fair enough. But yeah, how would you say that you would look over your season after this? You said you finished third, if I'm correct, right, overall in the championship?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, two wins to your name and stuff, and no, you've had a pretty good season, it seems.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't expect to get 2 wins and 3 more podiums. I think if I was there in Brazil, I could have gotten P2 in the standings. Definitely. Maybe not. You can never know, of course, but it's just the way it is. Yeah, very happy with the way it's gone. I don't think I could have caught Oscar because he was crazy. I mean, a podium in every single race he finished, that's just... yeah, you can't keep up with that. So fair play to him. And yeah, it was a good battle for P2 with Nassim was there once as well. And of course, Dani and Seep. So good season, happy with it.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna probably guess you're gonna be moving on to maybe F4 if that's the case. If you decide to go full time again.
I mean, it's a new game, so I don't know how they're gonna do the placements, but
that's totally fair. Okay. Yeah, it's too hard to judge.
We'll see.
I guess. But anyway, yeah, no, congratulations on P3 and. Yeah, well done to you in this championship. Definitely one of definitely one of the best drivers out there too. Yeah, well done. Yeah, Steve, let's move on to you then. P2 at the end of it all. Unfortunately, it wasn't a win, but you probably were one of the few drivers that would say that would fight towards the front at least at a consistent basis, or at least over a top 5 finish, or higher than that, obviously. But how was it for you today for Texas?
I gotta say, race pace was very good. A lot better than I expected before, also before today. So yeah, race pace good again. Also on darts this time. Brazil was a different case. And then yeah, qualifying. I think I won a trophy for World Rally drifting or something, but not for setting a fast lap. So yeah, it's a bit of a shocker.
Well, fair enough. I mean, I kind of understand with the conditions you guys had to deal with, for sure. But yeah, you kind of like one of those races where you pretty much were in the midfield for most of the race, and then you just had that sudden bit of pace towards the end. It wasn't enough, obviously, for the win, but it was enough for P2. I'm guessing you were just playing a bit of the long game as best you could.
Yeah, basically my plan was always to stay out longer, also with the same as we said it in Brazil. So I just can overtake the cars one by one and then finish in front of the train basically, which happened again. So plan worked out well again. Just shame we got hauled up pretty badly by some cars, so we couldn't stay with Oscar. But yeah, maybe it was not even realistic to stay with him. He had massive pace and all season as well, so he was not to be matched with. So yeah, still another time congratulations to him. He's watching this. Crazy place.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, as I mentioned, you definitely. I know you didn't get a race win. I'm sorry to throw that out there, but I know you were I know you were one of the more consistent drivers. Like you would always be one of the drivers that fight towards the front. Would you say that you probably thought the season went pretty well for you, or how do you view it from your point of view?
Yeah, basically from the start on, I didn't expect to be this high up. I think I'll speak for Thomas as well. We didn't expect to be this quick.
Yeah,
Definitely after. Yeah. So yeah, to improve this much over the game, I think is a massive plus, and I'm looking forward to the next game basically.
Yeah, well, sounds like you'll be looking forward then for next season. Then I'm guessing no matter what happens. But yeah, no, congratulations on your P2 finish, and yeah, I'll look forward to see how you do for the rest of your time at PSGL, wherever you may go.
Sorry.
I said, well, good luck to you for next season, whatever you do.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, I think I meant to say it that way, but anyway, and yeah, I think that will wrap it all up for this F5 championship. Well, been a good championship nonetheless, but yeah, if Oscar is watching, yeah, congratulations, of course, to your championship as well. As far as for me, though, I'm not sure if I'll be back doing commentary for PSGL in the near future. I'm still up in the air about that. But if it is my last, I want to say thank you to Jesse for giving me an opportunity, of course, to do commentary for the last couple of seasons in PSGL. But I think with that, it is time to wrap it all up. Thank you very much, and we will see you back whenever that may be for PSGL. Take care and goodbye.